Titillate the juices. You know what? Woo! Right now. Woo!
Dr. Hughes invite followers. Oh, let's see if they increase now. Me too. Yeah, wow. Dr. Hughes. He's a great podcaster.
DrHUGEshow.
We go for you, yeah, Dr. Hughes, here we go. Be plugging yourself, that's cool.
First up, a man whose looks will serve your inner needs and desires.
Dr. Hughes.
Whoa, can everybody hear me? Because I can't test it out with anybody right now because I am solo for the moment. Hello out there. I scared myself. So shockingly handsome. This is the Dr. Hughes Show. Make my screen bigger. Thank you. Yep. Thanks to all my producers. Thanks to everybody that watches and hits the like button and the share button. We didn't do a show last week. It was the holidays, you know. Jesus and stuff, of course. Let's yeet for Jesus, please.
Yeet, 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 yeet.
We gotta get warmed up to do the show, so you know how we do here.
Yeet, 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 yeet.
I think we met the quota for today, but we can always go back to it when we lose steam on something, when we get bored talking about this wrestling business and WrestleMania literally being next week. And look who it is. Danny Damage.
On the camera's been a pain.
What's going on? There he is.
There we go.
You're not at the stadium or the arena right now.
No, something's going weird. I can hear myself. It's strange.
Uh-oh. Yep. The technical difficulties as usual, folks. Yep. The mixer's almost done, Danny. We've been talking about this the past year. I've had this thing since 2016, 2007, I believe. I picked it up, and I picked it up from Daddy's Junkie Music. It was a huge deal in my area. It's where all the musicians would go and, you know, sell their stuff because everybody's broke, right? Or they would buy it back and buy things. It was kind of like a pawn shop, and you would walk in there and just mountains of like equipment and things. And that's where I found it. Probably the best $200 I ever spent in my life. But holy shit, 20 years. So this thing's about to kick the bucket. But anyway, how are you doing, Danny?
Yeah, I'm well, thanks. I'm enjoying the increasingly nice weather. My cherry blossoms in the garden have popped up, so I'll drop the super interesting conversation.
We'll yeet to that. It's getting warm over here as well. I'm actually like hot for the first time in, God, it feels like a long time doing this show. Thank God for this. I'm smarter this time. I used to just wear the big brimmed hats and things, and I'd be sweat would be pouring down my face during shows back in the day. So stupid. Get the ones with the holes in it, everybody. If you're hot indoors doing wrestling streams and screaming about Pat McAfee. Hey, how about that? Do we get it yet? Does everybody get it that I was right about Pat McAfee this whole time, and they only had to do, something out of the ordinary, which WWE would never do something like that when Vince was in charge. But you've heard what's going on with this, Danny, right?
Only that they've brought him back to get involved with Cody and Orton.
So let me break it down a little bit for those that don't know. This is big news. So WrestleMania has been the season of it has sucked. It's all the stuff we've been talking about. Go watch those shows. So creatively, they've been horrendous all last year, coming into this year. And come to find out, TKO really is the problem. They're actually stepping in and going, no, you have to do this because we need to increase ticket sales, or we got to do this and that. So here's Pat McAfee again because, of course, Ari Emanuel, the guy that runs TKO, thinks Pat McAfee's Sylvester Stallone? Sylvester Stallone. So he goes, you know what? Let's shoehorn him in with Cody and Randy Orton in their big championship match for the biggest belt in the biggest promotion on planet Earth. And everybody hates it. And you know what? Shout out to the audience for once. You guys fucking nailed it. Nobody wants this, right? And it doesn't even make sense. Pat McAfee was just out here like me. On the table, yeeting. Come on, Cole. Sticking up for Cole, getting choked out by Gunther, which none of that should have happened either. He shouldn't even been the announce table guy. So that happened last week where he comes in, attacks Cody, all that shit. So I hear through the grapevine in the wrestling news that they're going to try to get Pat McAfee over with this. Like something, they're going to fix something, right? They're going to announce that he's going back to just announcing, and maybe he'll be like a heel announcer now or something. Nope, they got him even more involved with this angle. And not only that, Jelly Roll is involved in this angle now because Randy Orton beat him up in the middle of Cody and Pat McAfee going at each other in the ring verbally, right?
Look at me quickly rushing to come back to watch wrestling.
It's literally horrific. It should scare everybody that loves wrestling right now. And if it doesn't scare you, you must be new to this, because this is not anything remotely close to anything we've watched, Danny, in the past that we liked. This is the shits.
It's the shits.
Whew. But at least the crowd got behind that sentiment. I didn't see that bit. I didn't see that bit. I just saw the brief sort of outline that he'd come back.
No, this is a big angle. He's back. He's really in this. And they've also got Jelly Roll in this, which instantly my mind just goes, oh, so what's the next pay-per-view after Wrestle? Backlash? Backlash is going to be the tag team match, Cody and Jelly versus Randy and Pat McAfee, which Pat McAfee was just a good guy the other day, and Jelly Roll was just BFFs with Randy Orton all last year. Right? Both St. Louis boys, right, Randy? and then slapping the truck and getting Randy out to back him up and his fights back in the day and all. It's this WWE. Holy shit, it's cringe. It's really all it's there for me now is to just completely goof and shit on because I don't like it. I don't like Danhausen. I like Javon Evans and stuff, but the flippy wrestling and shit, that's not going to keep me engaged. You know what keeps me engaged is the Attitude Era that Pat McAfee and all these people are talking about, because they know what a lot of us are saying, and we're adult fans of this stuff. But it seems like you don't want us. That's how it is for me. So now I'm just a highlight watcher. Am I out of my mind, or am I on point with this?
No, you're on point. You're on point. I bloody stopped watching last WrestleMania for the exact same reason. As you know, pissed off with all that shit for quite a while. So I've been goofing on it for years, like writing stuff and like doing videos myself. And it was sort of fun for a while, but then it's just you've got to watch 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 hours of wrestling a week and write about it, and then edit it, and it's just like I fucking hate it now. Then you just try and watch it, and it's like it's not even got that spark to keep me hooked to watch it. Not anymore.
Mm-hmm. It's so corporate. It's so about sales. And that's why it's obvious when they give you, hey, here's Pat McAfee again with Randy Orton. This is big as NWO and like their turn and all this stuff. And it's like, what? What are you selling to these kids? It's just like with the pro sports and everything where like, these are the best players ever, right? They're definitely not falling all over the floor and refusing to play half the season because they're just such tough guys and good at the sport. Like, what the fuck? Everybody, come on. Why are we giving these people so much slack and money to give us a product that's inferior to 20 years ago when we got the technology and the know-how to make this thing? You thought, in my mind, when the Cody, Roman Reigns, Bloodline angle like reached the pinnacle, and that seemed like the biggest thing in the business, The Rock coming back and all this stuff, for the modern day anyway, I feel like the business could double that easily if they just played their cards right and played into that for more than a year. Imagine you did that for 2, 3, 4 years, and not with just one bloodline. I know I'm getting very deep with all and just how this thing should work. But it's just they're fundamentally fucked because they're looking for the quick buck, and it's because they're owned by TKO. So I'm trying to explain this to people because it seems like a lot of the fans, they have no idea what's going on.
Vince was like a soft version of this because once it went sort of like not just in his hands anymore, they had to sort of like appeal to other people, and he then just like got really obsessed with this modern audience. He never found it, really. He just pissed a lot of people off with changing the wrestling. Whereas now, like you say, it's way too fucking corporate. You could let Vince get away with so much of it. But once you've sort of like rung that bell, you can't hear it now. And they just see profits, and they don't ever want to see it shrink. And the way that they're going at the minute, where it is corporate as hell, and it's sort of like they see it being on par with the UFC, they're not going to go back to sort of like trying to feed a rabid fan base. They're just going to go for as many butts in seats and make it as generic and mainstream as possible and just have no flavour.
UFC, same thing. It's like literally all forms of entertainment are kind of doing this. We've talked about it before. It's the globalization of it. They just want money. It's not about the actual art form and making that the best. But if you just focused on that in this day and age where everybody's got phones and screens in front of them, if you make something good, everybody's going to see it. Now, if you make something that's the shits for months on end, nobody's going to see it. Like me, even that I'm into it, I may see some things, but I'm not going to see it all, and I'm going to scoff at most of it. So it's just what a crazy game plan to just really go for the money. I feel that whole corporate mindset is just, sure, you can make your money for maybe even several years or whatever, but in the long run, it just doesn't work out, Oh, all right. Do your thing. He's having problems over there. I don't think he can hear himself or whatever. You got to love the interwebs, right? So we're living in the future and nothing works. Still, to this day. till this day. Anyway, so yeah, McAfee, bro. He talks about, he did make some good points, though. And he comes off like a good heel, because, you know me, I already can't stand the guy. There he is. Look at him. You guys were cheering for that? You think that was cool? Yeah, the 40-something-year-old frat boy, that whole gimmick, that was cool, right? All right. Look who's on the screen now. How's that?
Your favorite. No, I can still hear myself. That's fucking annoying. I don't know why it's doing that. I can hear myself after like a second.
I wonder if that's on my side. Because I've heard that from people that game with me, but that shouldn't be happening during this, because I haven't changed anything. You know?
No, I haven't either. I just did the usual settings.
Oh, I'm going to look real quick. I'm looking. No, this is the same setup as before over here.
I think everybody else will be able to hit me twice.
I think you sound good.
It was on your end.
Yeah, you sound great. Everything always sounds good on my video game streams, too, but the people I play with are always like, I can hear myself. It's fucking me up. And they constantly let me know this. Probably another reason I have to get a new mixer. Yeah.
Fair enough.
Anyway, Pat McAfee, you know, I'm sure he's got quality mixers, no problem. I'm sure he doesn't even pick them out. He just shows up, and he stands up over it, and he tosses his 80-pound head around with his Lesbodian haircut. Yeah, he's an obnoxious guy, but Cody Rhodes is obnoxious to me, too, because what Pat McAfee said about him last night, how he's fake and phony and blah, blah, blah.
What do we want to talk about?
It shined through in this promo from Cody going at Pat McAfee. And he was kind of right about Pat as well. But Pat talking about CM Punk was the funniest, because he's like, you're out here talking about lower the ticket prices and this and that. He's like, you got like 283 pieces of merchandise, bro. You know, he's like, you come out here in your official WWE coat and the T-shirt underneath and this and that. And he's like, yeah, so CM Punk, you're on notice as well, always, because you are a fraud, as Pat McAfee said. Where are you, CM Punk? I think we have proof of this. Remember this? Remember that? I remember this. Are we in an echo chamber, Shades Cal? Oh, my God. Shout out to you as well. Famous chatter on the interwebs. But, yeah, remember when he told The Miz, when he was in AEW, to go suck a bloody Saudi dick? Or was something like that?
Yeah.
Like, and then he showed up there, and he apologized. And now what's going on? I think he caused all this stuff that's going on. It's not Trump's fault. It'll never be Trump's fault. Right, Magger? Think so. Right. CM Punk's fault. That's my take, Danny. Not Trump's, not J.D. Vance.
He does have a lot to answer for.
Mm-hmm. Get off my screen, Trump. Oh, my God, I hate Trump so much, right? Well, no. I don't like any of them. That's my gimmick. Never like any of them. And I don't like this. You see, I'm authentic. I'm genuine. I'm a real person out here, like the people that watch and listen to this. I am not taking sides. I think it's all silly. Did you see my new video?
No, not yet.
Yep, you got to check it out. I've been making shorter and shorter ones, and they're not even for the shorts, but you know, go check that one out. I mean, CM Punk looking amazing lately. And this is the faces he makes in the camera. They kill me, because he comes off so self-righteous. Just blows me away. But Danny, you were saying?
Oh, no, you can get away with a bit more on the shorts, can't you, copyright-wise?
Yes.
If it's below a certain length, it's sort of like ignore quite a lot, especially with music.
Once I hit 1,000 on shorts, they usually send me a thing. We're limiting this now. Like, my shorts. I'm like, okay. I don't know why. I don't know how you can do that, but some of them I've fought back on and won. And then when I did that, as soon as I did that, they went after like several of my videos. So there's no way that can't be by chance. is what I'm saying, because they never came in that hot and heavy before. So, yep, sorry, CM. You know, I'm sure you're a cool guy. I'm sure everybody there, you're all cool guys and stuff like that. But listen, this high and mighty stuff with me, Danny, it does not fly. If you talk the talk, you better fucking walk the walk and not just go, oh, I'm sorry. Oh, that was me in my 30s. I didn't mean it then. I'm from my 40s now. Like, get the fuck out of here. Like, no. I forgive you, CM Punk, but, it's not like I'm going to go out here and trust everything you say. And same thing with Pat McAfee, because you're obviously an industry plant. So.
Punk could do with going back to AW and guillotine a few more of them. I think that was my favourite part of his career, to be honest.
Mm-hmm. Jungle Jack, he put in front face headlock, I believe. Samoa Joe had to pull him off. Damn it, Samoa. And but hey, man, his buddy Danhausen blowing up in the WWE. People think he is hilarious. Yep. You love Danhausen, Danny?
No.
The Sleaze loves Danhausen. He laughs like that when he's around. I get it. I don't know. I guess I'm old now. And when it comes to certain kinds of humor, like, I don't mind the slapstick goofy stuff, and maybe it will grow on me or whatever, but right now, and when he was in AEW, I was always just like, it's the face, it's very Tony Storm-esque.
Yeah, but if you were getting your fill with like the wrestling you actually wanted, and you were satisfied with having so much of that in your 2 or 3 hour show, you'd let a bit of that slide. Mm-hmm. But when you fucking hate everything else, and then they bring the fucking stupid clown out, it's like, no, piss off. I'm not in the mood. I didn't want any of this. But yeah, like I said before, I didn't mind like the first few Danhausen little skits that I saw. I think it was during lockdown. But then when you see him on wrestling, less is more, really.
Hold on, they're saying you're echoing in the chat too. Hold on, let me hear this back. Come on, and do it live. Oh, he really is.
Yeah, I keep turning my volume down, so I can't hear myself every time I speak. So I'm trying to do it really quickly because it's just really distracting when I'm trying to talk. It's really loud in my ear. I don't know if it's on my end and I'm sending it to you or.
That's got to be on your end. Yeah, that's definitely. There's no way it can be on my end because I haven't done anything different.
Likewise, but I'll take that on the chin. Apologies, everybody. I'll reboot my laptop.
All right, yeah, give it another try.
All right, see you in a minute.
All right, good job, Coach. That's right, echo chamber. That's what Shades was saying. It was really happening. I thought it was just maybe on his end. So, nope. If it comes through the stream, that ain't on my end like that. You understand? Not my fault, never my fault. Thank you. So I think we fixed it. Everybody come back, everybody share and retweet and all this. Can't believe I even have people watching this still. So shout out to you guys because that was brutal. That was the worst. It was the shits. That was WrestleMania 2026.
It's the shits.
What is this 142? I never keep up with the numbers. They can say it over and over and over. It never sinks in with me. Or was 42 the good one lately? I don't know. I still feel like inclined to get WrestleMania, because I'm an analyst, journalist, all this business. But especially after week, I'm watching the highlight clips of SmackDown last night, and you mean we got little Yachty around here? And I knew he was going to be coming around.
Let's talk about it.
Yeah, he's hooking up with Trick Williams. What? Did you hear his voice? He's another heel celebrity rapper. The only thing I know about Lil Yachty is when he first hit the scene, it was all about him saying in the media he didn't know who Tupac was. And people were like, what? I want to say this is around 2012, 2013, around there. And, all the old heads just going, how dare you not know who Tupac is and blah, blah, blah. And he probably does. He probably knew. So, people are making all these fake headlines and stories, and because, the music business has been dead for a million years. Plus, you don't really need talent to be in it anymore. Have you seen some of these rappers in the studio, folks? They're literally farting in the booth. They sound like, and then you're like, that's good, right? Yep. They punch it up. I'm not even joking. It sounds that bad. So they are the shits. All right, I got to put on the show again over here to check to see if there is a disturbance in the force here. Let's see.
Hello, 1 2.
1 2. You sound good to me, but let's.
No,
let's
I can hear myself again.
You can hear. Fuck.
Yeah.
What the fuck? I would love if somebody else could come in here. I did send a link to one other person, but he's probably busy. I got other shows going on tonight on other platforms. Yeah, still. Yeah, I don't know, man. I'm not quite sure. I don't think it's anything. Yeah, no delays. No. How about now?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Are we good?
No, I can hear myself again, but it's quieter. That's not as distracting.
Is this on? This can't be on. I'm listening back. Keep talking. Yeah, it's still bad.
Hello. Yeah.
Yeah, that can't be it. Yeah. I really don't know, man. And now you're muted. Or hello?
Sorry. I'm muted. I can still hear myself. Yeah. I was changing settings. I wasn't sure who fixed it. No.
All right. Well, I don't know. I don't think this is doable with you here, to be honest. I want you to be here, of course.
Yeah, no, that's fair enough, man.
But it will sound awful. Do the people want Danny echoing?
No. Nobody wants this. Right. Well, thanks very much.
All right. Well, we'll try to fix this next week. I'm going to buy a new mixer probably this week because just in case, either way for my gaming, it's not working out. But this has never happened before. So
right, well,
thank you for your service.
Check out my YouTube shorts. Thank you very much. Right,
yes.
Bye.
Follow DannyDamage.co.uk. Unbelievable. Losing guests because of technical issues. So professional. It was a nice effect there. You like that? It's pretty cool. Yeah, I don't know, man. All my settings are the same. Everything's cooking as usual. The only thing this usually affects my, little 20-year-old mixer, it affects the gaming, and only for the people that play for me or play with me. And that's it. That's a fact, Jack. I hope this is super entertaining for everybody. I think it is. Anyway, so about the things going on tonight, I'm going to be going on with Luke, who hangs out with Jim Grindle, who's been on the Dr. Huge show. That they do International Rangoon, their YouTube channel. Go check it out. And I'm going to be on there tonight. Jim's hosting a stand-up comedy show with Bobby Tamboro. I believe that's the name. And many other comedians. And they will be coming on with me and Luke. Luke and I, right? I'm going to do this professionally. And we're going to be chopping it up. So check that out later tonight. International Rangoon. That's the channel. And then possibly, if I'm still awake after that, you'll have to check out Clown Town on YouTube as well. And that's the Dabbleverse finest go on Clowntown. So I'm going to be one of the top clowns in Clowntown probably later. So I got a whole lot of streaming to do today. And I'm telling you, if this, whole echoing thing is coming from me, it's going to be very, what a day for it to fall on. I'm finally booked myself like all over the interwebs. Shit better work. That better be Danny's fault. That's all I got to say. Or else. Somebody. We're solo Sokoa right now. Yep. I didn't think it was going to be that bad until I heard it. I went, holy shit, that's not good. Blah, 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 blah. Just like, what a sound effect. And then you guys, Paladin, you didn't even say nothing about it. You're goofing around. You got to let me know. You're like an executive producer out here. Pretend it's your OnlyFans. That's right. Always. I love when Jim came on the first time. Mr. Grindle from International Rangoon, right? He came on and he thought that this was just another fucking bum show. That this was just another guy out here that doesn't know what he's doing, doesn't know what he's talking about, not an analyst, journalist, expert on things. And he came all disheveled. His beard was sideways, mic off. And then he was like halfway through, like, oh, wait, you're doing a real show. This is like a show. And I said, yes, I prepare for it. I know things for it. And I'm ready for it. I'm ready for all the worst, because all the worst generally does happen. Like no guests, or the equipment not working, or the interwebs not working. I'm ready for all of it. And I don't give a fuck. Okay? So on top of that, not giving a fuck is like one of my main superpowers. And how dare you? Danny Damage says, sorry again, everyone. It was bad enough for me. I didn't even realize everyone else could hear it. I just assume everything's my fault and that was coming from my end, but I don't think it was. I don't know what's going on over there. They're playing with you. The man's coming after you or something. But if I send out the link to somebody else and they pop on, then we could actually tell. Because then if it happens again, then it's definitely my fault. Or Restream's fault. Can't leave them out of the loop. Could always be them, too. All right. So checking my messages real quick, seeing if anybody's got any solutions. But no. Never any solutions. I just emailed Trump. I'm sure he'll get right back to me about this. We got problems over here, Trump. Hurry up. Fix the sound for my international guests. The fuck you think this is? This is Trump's America? Is that what's going on? Is it Trump's fault? Could be still Obama's fault. It couldn't be both their fault. That's for sure. That's all I know, is it definitely couldn't be both their faults. Just one or the other, I think. Yeah, we'll allow it this time, Danny. We'll let it slide this time. That's right. Anyway, back to this wrestling news. Where's my pen? Man, I got another great Cody Rhodes pretentious air-sucking promo coming to you guys soon. The Jelly Roll thing, oof. Like I was talking with Danny, I mean, Jelly Roll and Pat McAfee involved with the biggest title in all of pro wrestling just is so... It's so... Who's Doofy, right? Remember Doofy from Scary Movie? Remember when he won the WCW title? It's close to that. Maybe even worse. Yep. We might have to go on White Nationalist Rumble, Paladin. Yep. MLC was on there last night. I'll have to go back and watch that episode if it's still up. I'm sure there's plenty of N-words on that one. Chauncey from the Howard Stern was on there. That's a deep cut from the old Stern days. So, yeah, we could talk about him as well. I know all about you, Chauncey. Or do I? I mean, I know that you are in Ireland right now. I know that you snitched on Scores, the strip club in New York, and wrote about them in your magazine. You used to write a free magazine and go on Stern. And I never understood it because it seemed like Stern never liked them, but then they like hung out and, you know, it was their strip club days or whatever. And, yeah, I don't know. Chauncey, I got my eye on you, or do I again? I don't think I really care. You know, about 30-year-old, you know, members of the Stern show from 30 years ago, I mean. What am I saying right now? What are we doing? Who are we talking about? Pat McAfee? Jelly roll with the jelly coming out the nose? Cody Rhodes and his bad promos? Come on, where are you? Hurry up. Is that what we're talking about? Can you fill up the whole screen? Thank you. Take me off the screen. Just look at that. That's your champ right there. Look at Kevin Owens' face, too, over here. You never get to see this version of it. I never show this version of it. I just make it look like he's sitting on a toilet, kind of. And then we got the anime version over here. Wrestling's in a bad state, everybody. The people who are buying into this stuff, they're the normies, generally. They're the casuals. Because the hardcores are all AEW, right? TNA. And they're having their problems. I don't know if you've heard. MJF, like, dropping pipe bombs out here in the media, going after, what's his name, over at TNA because he's, stopped Dolph Ziggler from wrestling MJF in some independent wrestling match somewhere, you know, taking money out of their pockets, out of Dolph Ziggler's little tights. And they're all upset about it because TNA's really partnered with the WWE now. They were working with AEW, it seems. I don't know anything too deep on the business relationships with this, but it sounds like TNA is more in business with WWE. And they don't want to mess with your pocket of pro wrestling, which is Tony Khan and AEW. There's obviously, they're not working together. AEW and WWE are not going to be working together, at least for anytime soon. So, unless AEW is ready to put on the pajamas on. Get those pajamas on. It's what's best for business. Right, Dave? You were at SmackDown the other night, Dave. How dare people in the crowd go at Dave Meltzer? Bill, you're 60 years old and you're at a pro wrestling show. What are you doing? Like, huh? Who says that? Who thinks that? You guys crazy? But again, these are the newer wrestling fans, I'm assuming, because they don't seem to really understand how this thing is supposed to work. We're not supposed to know all the stuff backstage. We're not supposed to be following around all the wrestlers wherever they go, at the airports and everywhere. Even though people did it back in the day too, they didn't do it to this extent with their phones in everybody's faces. Just despicable, disrespectful to all these people. Yep. Jelly roll crossing you out. Family beat. That was the thing too. This is what made me go, okay, Cody Rhodes. So Pat McAfee's making some sense on things, being obnoxious with other things. Put me on the screen again, please. Thank you. And Cody Rhodes comes out and he plays the over-the-top babyface, the super over babyface, where he's like, these aren't fans, they're my family, and this and that, like this whole family talk. Like, no. WWE, the TKO version specifically, that ain't your family, bro. They'll throw Pat McAfee at you to just sell tickets. They don't give a shit about pro wrestling, so they damn sure don't give a shit about you. Have you seen the tickets? And sure, they cut them in half or whatever. I mean, I think if you want to sit in the TV side, like, at all, it's like $22,000 for one night. What? It's... And then they're using the same set, supposedly. It's a rumor. Well, the set's not going to be as big, but I could see them using the same set, different lighting to fit the, this year's theme, which is, what is it? What's this year's theme even? Poker? Is it, an apocalypse? Cyberpunk? Nothing makes sense. What? What? I don't know. It all just stinks. So, yep, that's your main storyline there that me and Echoing Danny talked about for a while. Yeah. Royce Keys had a match last night. We talked about Trick and Lil Yachty. Lil Yachty got Haluma kicked in the face because he got involved with the match between Trick and Cardona, a.k.a. Zack Ryder. And Sammy was there on the outside as well. They had a little promo battle, I think, before, and then the match happened. And I'm fine with like how these segments are set up and everything. It's just Trick Williams and Sami Zayn is just a weird choice to go with this storyline instead of building up a Carmelo thing. Maybe he'll be involved at WrestleMania in this match somehow, some way. Yachty probably will be. It's just, again, every time I'm like, I'll just get Mania. Why not? I'll get it. I'm like, what? For Lil Yachty? For Jelly Roll? For Logan Paul? For Pat McAfee? For what? And I don't mind having gimmicked matches. You got to have some, right? But this one doesn't. It's got a lot of one-on-ones. And all the gimmick matches, just a bunch of, they're like, here's a bunch of bitches. Like Tag Division, which I did like a few months ago and was forming into something. They have all the big names in there with the women. But the way that they're working with each other lately, it's the sloppiest division in all of wrestling, it seems like. These ladies look green in the ring. And they've been here for years. Bayley, Charlotte, Alexa, Nia, the Asuka and Kyrie. Like, they got some big names. But I don't know if you've noticed, the matches are kind of wonky. But when there's like multiple teams of ladies, especially like Royal Rumbles and things or the War Games, they generally
it's the shits.
Oh, the shits. Sorry, it's the shits for the men sometimes too, but sometimes they come out with bangers. And from what I remember as of late, since the women have been doing the Rumbles and the War Games and the things, and the ladder matches and stuff, they get banged up pretty easily. It's like a lot of them got two left feet and they're worried about hurting each other and they're worried about this and that. You can just tell they're worried. And then even more than the in-ring stuff is the out-of-the-ring stuff. They seem clumsy. And then again, imagine you're fake beating somebody up and barely touching them when the camera's right on you. And the person that you try to throw or are going to throw, they don't even take your throw. They throw themselves around like Becky Lynch did with Lyra months ago. Remember that? Or with Nikki Bella when she came back and she was bouncing her off the desk to desk, and Becky Lynch is just going like this, slapping each desk like she's slapping her head on it. It was the shits.
It's the shits.
All of this, the shits. And then it happened again. Stephanie Vacker the other night comes in, pushes Liv Morgan into Roxy, and they clap heads. Look. And then Liv Morgan looks like this now. There's no amount of makeup you can put on that thing. Could you imagine if there was no makeup? You probably see the whole face on there. So now she looks like the Wicked Witch. Thank you, Stephanie Vacker. But then again, if you know you're going to get pushed in the back, why are you standing face to face to somebody, like right in front of him, like you're about to kiss him? Why would you do that, Liv? Huh? So I don't blame Vacker for it. There's no heat on her for it, obviously. And get well, Liv Morgan. You and Roxy both got concussed. And I wish you well. And I hope you are ready for WrestleMania. I think the swelling's already gone down. You know, they got their top doctors over at WWE to ice it, you know, push it down maybe a little bit, rub it. Mr. Miyagi came in, clapped his hands together and rubbed that doorknob on her head. Yeah, she's got a cartoon-like welt. I'm sure all the simps online are like, you look so good with that welt right now. You're so pretty with that baseball that's coming out of your head, like the baby that came out of the taxi driver in what was the movie? Total Recall. Remember that? Quaid. Schwarzenegger was Quaid. And it was like a baby man psychic thing that came out of the black dude's chest. Quaid. That's going to be Liv Morgan's forehead. But the doctors fixed it. Took the pregnancy out of the head. Not a food baby, head baby. That's right. All right, get off my screen. You're very disruptive just with your presence around here. Liv Morgan. Soon to be champion? Cares? Again, everybody's like, hey, let's make that the main event of night one. And you know what I say to that? As much as I like Liv Morgan and Stephanie Vacker, I say this. Then again, did you see Stephanie Vacker's post from last week in her little black outfit there that she went on one of the shows on? I don't know. I only watch the highlights. What show is she even on? Raw, right? Yeah. Go look it up. That's all I have to say about that. You understand?
Oh, yeah. Fuck. Oh, dropping fucking loads.
So Danhausen took on Kit Wilson last night. The people love it. Listen, I can't trash it so bad. I can say how I don't like it, but it's working for the WWE. It's also showing me where we're going with all this as far as big-time wrestling. Maybe they want that insanely ridiculous. They want to watch a TV show now in the ring. You understand, like a sitcom, like going to watch a sitcom with the laugh tracks and you're the studio audience. Maybe they want that. After the matches, when the cameras are off and they're in front of like 20,000 or say like Mania, 100,000 people or something, which they're not going to come close to this year, I don't think. They can just like walk around and be themselves, right? Cool would that be? I mean, the wrestling business, man. Whew. It was all about the work and having works and great angles and something you could really believe in. Even if you knew, everybody knows and is known for a long, long time. But you want a level of believability to it to just make it interesting. Now that there's no believability, with any of this. And they're making shows about it, and they're telling you about the shows in the middle of the show. So you just had a performance, say. And then they cut away to Cole, and he's just like, and then on Unreal, blah, blah, blah. Or in the middle of most Paul Heyman promos lately, and he does great promos, but some of the ones he's done in the past with the Vision, they suck. Because he's bringing up Unreal every time. And I know they make a point of that, because they're selling goods constantly in ads and ad placements and stickers, and you know, we got to mention this and we got to mention that. And I'm telling you, this business, the WWE with TKO, is completely soulless at this point. There is no more soul. They're going to try to fake it, right? Mark my words, and they've been. But just keep a close eye, and just try to remember the past, even if you just watched in the 20-teens. Just remember how it was then, the vibe. And I'm not saying I even liked a lot of the wrestling at that time, but there was a level of unpredictability and excitement. There just was. Because Vince was a wacky guy. I mean, you could just remember Bobby Lashley with the sisters? That was so bad it was good. It's so bad people talked about it for weeks. Right? The smile and all this. And then how about Bobby Lashley marrying Lana? And how everybody was upset about it, but everybody loved to talk about it. Because it was entertaining because of the ridiculousness of it. So Danhausen probably could have fit into Vince's whole scheme back then too, if he knew who he was, because he doesn't know anybody, I don't think. If they weren't on his radar as far as Triple H or somebody pestering about a certain talent in another company, what have you. So take that. Give us Vince back. How about this? When Vince came back, when Triple H first took over, when Vince started getting in trouble, it was great. You could tell there was a difference in the flow of the show and who was getting pushed and how, it was making sense. Then Vince came back, remember, for that little short stint, and things got wonky again and all out of place. So maybe he shouldn't come back because he just lost it. The game passed him by or whatever, no pun intended. But Triple H, he's come out here, and I don't think this is all his fault either. Where are you, Triple H? Get on my screen right now. I've just summoned you. I know you're watching. And if you're not watching, you're going to be listening in the future. Fact Jack. This is Fact Jack, folks. So, Triple H over here, he comes in, he fixes everything up. He modernizes all this, but he's going to keep the Vince type shit going, where we got a level of unexpected people and things happening. But then once that business got sold to TKO and they just took over, it slowly but surely just got worse. I mean, they were riding the Vince thing and Triple H taking over from Vince into the Cody, Roman, finally finishing the story stuff, which was great. And then it just started to fall off. And then by the time they got to Netflix, that opening show really showed you last year, this ain't it. This is a cash grab now. And they just started to mess everything up in the name of making money ever since. So that's why this is one of the worst WrestleMania seasons ever. And I'm not looking forward to... I might not even get it. I'm not saying I'm not, but the closer it gets to, I'm like, do I really need to? Because every time I watch, I didn't get the Royal Rumble. I always watch the Royal Rumble. But I watched last year's, and that just kind of broke me. Because I'm like, this one's just boring. There's no surprises. There's no fun, really. And it's just this... more than ever, it's like, okay, We got a ring full of guys, and then they all, part like the Red Sea when somebody else joins the fight. They do their gimmicks, right? They do their 5 moves of doom or whatever, maybe throw somebody out or get thrown out themselves, and then they just blend into the rest of the Red Sea for the next guy to come in and do the same thing. And then when they add a second one with the ladies, and they usually run that one first, it's just, whoa, this is boring stuff, guys.
It's the shits.
2 Money in the Banks now.
It's the shits.
2 War Games now.
It's the shits.
We don't need it, right? Because it's a cash grab. And again, with this WrestleMania, when I get it, I don't even understand. Like, I know I'm going to get a subscription, so I'm going to get both nights. But do I want to watch wrestling for what? 5 hours? For 2 days? Each? And the thing is, it comes out to be a very long time, even though there may not be as many matches as AEW or whatever. But the amount of ads. There's so much time taken up of just brainwashing everybody to buy things. And I'm just over it. YouTube and everybody, just get a subscription or get a VPN or get a this or that. I'm not, what the fuck? I have to do all this just to have something normally? How about I just don't watch it? How about I don't stare at your little, Slim Jim stickers in Riyadh seasons over and over? I'm not going. I told you. I think it's hilarious that you guys think it was a good idea to start going over there. I think it's all nice and stuff, right? It's good for them and the rank and file citizens and everything, right? That's good for them. And it's good for your business, I'm sure. But it ain't good for the business long term overall. Because where's Night of Champions going to be this year, right? Told you so. So anyway, more on that later. Because, more developments will be occurring. Jade took on EO last night, beat her up, pinned her. It makes sense, making Jade look strong. That's it. They want to put Danhausen's face, getting back to Danhausen real quick, on maybe not even his face. Well, it's going to be his face, I'm sure. That big goofy smile on the Sphere in Las Vegas. So be on the lookout for that, everybody. A big partnership with Trademarkhausen. Hilarious. It's so funny how much money you give them, right? Hypocrisy police. Shout out to Stuttering John, the Duke. I haven't brought him up in a while because I didn't do a show last week, and I haven't done a show on Tuesdays in a while or Thursday in a while. So more shows may be coming soon. But this Stuttering John, the Duke, shattered his wrist, broke his wrist, whatever. He slipped on his Florida slick tile floors. And I hear that's a thing for the elderly down there, dude. So watch out, CM Punk and the Duke. Get well. Stay wrist strong in Cape Coral. Skull. Let's skull for him.
Oh, a little bit of the bubbly. Oh, a little bit of the bubbly.
That's right. I was watching him the other night, and people still asking for old Dr. Huge over there. They're like, where's Dr. Huge been? And you know me, I'm not begging to do shows and shit. You understand? I'll do shows. Cool with the Duke. Cool with the Dabblers. But, it's not like, I got things to do here, right? I'm trying to pump up the numbers here. I'm trying to get the echoes to go away here. So this thing's going on here. But I am doing other things. And again, Clown Town later tonight possibly. I heard that they may be going live at 11:30 Eastern. So again, I'm going to try to stay awake for this. Maybe I'll be delirious. And I'll be even crazier than usual. Hello, Teddy Beddington. Benedict. I can't even read today. I had a falling out with the Duke. Tabby, how dare you? Don't put those rumors out there. Don't you put that evil on me, Ricky Bobby. No, I don't. Listen, dabblers. I'm speaking to the dabblers right now. If you don't know what I'm talking about, listen. Just you step aside for a minute. This is for the dabblers. I get it, okay? For all those that don't think I get it, I get it. I know what's going on. I understand what you're doing. I understand what I'm doing. And I understand what the Duke does. You understand? I know. I won't be caught off guard like Grillo and his guest the other night. What was his guest's name? Danny something. Danny came on there as a big-time TikTok guy. He does not know how to handle the chat. And Grillo kind of doesn't understand either. They won't even let me write douche in capital letters in the chat. That's a famous line that all Stern fans know about Grillo. That's why I wrote it. It wasn't like I was calling anybody a douche, right? But it gets erased. Things get, heated, and people start yelling at the chat, and the chat starts taking over because that's what they're doing. They're taking over. They're like, this is my show now, right? So I get it, right? They didn't get it. I get it, though. It's a safe guess. 99% of people end up having falling out with him. I've been there. From the beginning. I've seen it happen, right? But how I'm going about this, I'm a featured act. Okay, I'm Brock Lesnar, I'm Roman Reigns, even if nobody thinks that. I don't give a fuck. I think it. So I'm going to be that. I'm going to show up when I want. I'm not desperate for any attention or any money from anybody. So I'm going to do what I want to do. And that's just how I roll. Again, like I told John when I was on the show, I'm a lone wolf. It's not like I can't play nice with people. I just understand these are a lot of cults and teams, armies, if you will. I goof around and say I'm in army, Rob Saul army and this Gold Dust army and things. But again, I get it. And I'm not. I pledge no allegiance to anybody else's podcast. I pledge allegiance to my podcast. Thank you. Aren't we all, Tabby? Aren't we all? I'll get monetized soon, possibly. And listen, I could be a Nasty Neil. Shout out to Nasty Neil. I could be, and just take every link that's thrown to me. But I don't think that's what's best for business. That is not what's best for my business. You understand? I'm more of an Owen Hart myself. You're not a Bret Hart?
I would not date a man. I would not tear up.
I'm going to let him finish.
I would not put on makeup.
Well, maybe I will. Who knows? I was looking for this, but they're both in pink on my little sampler. It always confuses me, right? So, anyway, that's enough dabble talk until maybe later, right? 8 o'clock again. I'll be on the YouTubes, and then possibly around 11:30, I'm going to be on the YouTubes. Woo! And I'm on the YouTubes right now. Get liking and subscribing, everybody. So I'll be best friends on the interwebs and never turn on each other. May all of you never turn on me or each other. There's going to be an Andre the Giant Memorial next week. there's also going to be an 8-man street fight next week for SmackDown the night before WrestleMania. And isn't after SmackDown when they do the Hall of Fame? Because if that's the case, you know what's going on. Everybody's falling asleep out here. They're doing the Hall of Fame at like midnight, East Coast time. What are you, Clown Town? Anyway, so that's happening. The 8-man street fight actually interests the Huge, though. The Andre the Giant Battle Royal, I mean, that's cool and stuff, and it's a nice trophy and to be able to memorialize one of the GOATs in the business. But whoever wins that generally means it's the you're going to lose your job soon Battle Royal. So that's a lot of those type of level wrestlers in their company, which just being in the WWE is a win. But then again, you're trying to climb to the mid-card and to the main event. And as you can see, my dude, LA Knight over here, yeah, he's got the stuff, but he got real close. He was in the main event spot for a little bit. I think he had one match against Reigns or somebody, and then that was that. Now he's kind of back to the mid-card, and he's fighting more celebrities. In the modern-day celebrities, this ain't like LA Knight's fighting Burt Reynolds, brah. This ain't like LA Knight's fighting Eddie Murphy or something. He's fighting IShowSpeed. The kid that runs fast and jumps high. Got it. Wow. These are the celebrities you guys want. And you want it all in our wrestling. Because it ain't just mine. It is everybody's. But you guys are trying to take it over with this horse shit. And you're taking it over by saying that this stuff is good. You got to say it's bad. You got to come out and tell them, no, we're not going to pay thousands of dollars for tickets to watch IShowSpeed, Jelly Roll, and a bunch of non-wrestlers. You know what? They should take IShowSpeed and give him the, I'm not even going to say it. Be so rude. Be so controversial. I almost did, though. Right, Tabby? I almost did. I almost referenced something. I didn't. Because I'm an expert, analyst, journalist, and all that. Yeah, Goldust. Imagine Goldust comes back and, hits somebody with a car like he did to Roddy Piper. That's classic shit. That was WrestleMania. That's how you do a street fight. In the street. Not in the arena. Huh? Why would you start a street fight in the arena? Just saying. Speed and Logan Paul are the death of the WWE. Yep. Fact Jack. Fact fucking Jack. Logan Paul, I don't care. Oh, he wrestles good.
It's the shits.
No. This is not how it works. You don't take some jerk off the street and go, hey, well, you've been training boxing and all this stuff. You seem athletic. Because I've been saying this for years, too. And people are like, oh, that's not how it is. Anybody can wrestle. How about that? If you can learn the dance moves and you can move around and you're not stiff, like you don't have 2 left feet and you're not an idiot, you can wrestle, too. I didn't even think back when I was younger that wrestling would be a possibility. Like, you heard that there was a Killer Kowalski school and this and that, but, I'm pretty average, 6 foot, 190. At the time, I was fucking 235 in big. Not fat either, like just big. And I could have gotten into wrestling if I knew that was a thing. Thank God I didn't, because I'd probably be beat the shit right now. Where was I going with this? Oh, just the fact that, people act like, oh, no, it's so hard to make it. And it is. It's very hard to make it, especially into WWE and beyond that, because the politicking and all the rest of the stuff. That's the real hard part. And the mic skills and the blah, blah, blah. Right? Starts in the arena because it's easy to control all the ad stickers they place in there. Also, is there a Street Fighter film out soon? Right. Oh, man. Yeah. Remember lately with the WrestleManias, we had Borderlands. The Street Profits came out in Borderlands outfits and masks, and it was cringe. And then Drew McIntyre came out with gauntlets, and I think he had a big old mask and something. It's constant. Buy this, buy this, buy this. You can't watch an entrance. You can't watch a match. You can't watch backstage stuff without it. And then they just jam ads everywhere. Instead of those long-ass vignettes of going, this is how we got here. You know, this is why this guy hates this guy. Instead of that, you just get more ads. And honestly, it's, at least for mine, I don't know what my algorithm's saying. I don't know what they're trying to tell me, but it's like, do you got HIV? You got HIV? You got HIV? Everybody got HIV? And it's like, why do you guys keep talking about this? What, has everybody got the HIV now? Everybody's Magic Johnson out here all of a sudden? Is it me? Somebody tell me. Have you seen these advertisements, and are they just crazy on the streaming platforms? Or is somebody playing a goof on me? Because it kind of feels like it's a goof. It's like, damn, they're like up my ass with this. Like, stop it. And are you schizophrenic? I get the schizophrenic ones too. But it's tons of pharmaceutical ads. Yeah. So, yeah. We talked about that. We talked about this. Next page. I got plenty of news here. Plenty of news. I mean, we could talk UFOs. We could talk all these wars and rumors of wars. We could do that. We could. I know about that stuff, too. That's one thing I would love to talk to John about is just his politics, because I think he, obviously isn't thinking very deeply on it. And I might be able to articulate to him how the right and the left are literally the same thing. It's the same thing. So thinking like, oh, if only we did this and if only we voted for that person, you think that's going to fix anything. You're literally, like, you haven't been keeping up with what's going on, apparently. So to take teams, again, I don't do the team thing, and that's a very obvious work. Because the new generation of wrestling fans are up. Maybe they just think I'm gay. I don't know. I think most of the Dabbleverse thinks I am too.
I'm not gay no more.
Not no more, though. I proved it, right? I think, just by playing that sample. Not anymore. So say what you want, but I'm not gay no more.
I'm not gay. I would not date a man. I would not carry a purse. I would not put on makeup.
None of that. I don't do none of that. Very masculine. Strong and powerful. Hard like Rockweiler. So anyway. I got some old news, but, if it's past a few days, it's pretty old. This punk pipe bomb that I made my little video based off of. Punk comes off very self-righteous. They were trying to save face after the Pat McAfee initial deal. He goes at him. It's like, bro, it's WrestleMania time. You're on a different show with a different title, about to take on Roman Reigns, and all anybody can remember is now you're feuding with your own business, which is Pat McAfee and Ari Emanuel. It's just, it's a bold strategy. McAfee kind of pointed this out the other night, too. Like, you're talking about people more buff than you and have more power than you. And let's just see how this works. Because if the Vince era of this business was like, well, he'll cut anybody. He'll just toss anybody aside that's not doing what he wants them to do. What do you think these guys are going to do? Obviously, they're going to keep them for the money, but I don't know if these people were necessarily told that. I can believe a little bit that these are some pipe bombs from Cody and CM Punk when it comes to the Pat McAfee and the involvement from higher ups. But again, you're exposing the business and you're letting everybody know that this is all fake, and you're upset with the fake works that are going on because it's not. You understand why this is so stupid and why I feel like I can't spend my money on this, right? It's because they're not playing along with me anymore. They're not saying, here, we're gonna really try to swerve you and get one over on you. I want to be fooled. I want to be a mark. I can't be a mark because you tell me everything. That makes sense, WWE and TKO? Especially TKO? You think you're just going to get more money because you're going to give me a worse product? But you're just going to, everybody likes Pat McAfee, right? I told you they didn't. I know everybody says they do when he gets the ratings on certain things or whatever, but listen, Ari, he was an industry plant. Maybe from you because you think he's so good, or it's maybe because of your connections. What, Dave, what's his name, Portnoy? Another genius, right? Listen, just because these guys have money doesn't make them good at being creative and having something to give to the audience. They don't. They're just money manipulators. So having them involved in anything creative is what, Bret Hart?
It's the shits.
Fucking stupid on top of it. Stop getting involved. Give Triple H a chance because he's taking a beating out here. And sure, are some things his fault? I'm sure they are. Is all of it his fault? Like I've been goofing around saying it's all his fault for the past year. No, it ain't. It ain't his fault. I'm sure when Cody and Randy Orton were backstage, which is the rumor, they're yelling at Triple H and they're freaking out like, this doesn't make any sense. You're making me look bad. You're making him look bad. You're making the business look bad. The crowd doesn't like it. We don't like it. And Triple H is like, we do what we do. I know. We do what we do. Like, what is he going to say? Oh, break since I'm all set for being kicked out. I know. Can't believe I kicked you. Hey, everybody gets kicked out of this show every once in a while. I even did it to one of my old co-hosts back in the day when I used to have co-hosts, right? Justin came on for a short bit. For those that remember Justin. Y2 Justin Credible without the E. And he went to do his plugs and I just kicked him out. Yep. How about this for a story? Just to change things up a little bit. JC Jane over here. The lovely JC Jane from NXT just lost her title to Lola Vice. But that ain't even the big story. The big story, Danny Damage, get liking and subscribing, is her tits came out multiple times, everybody. Oh! Can you believe this? Not professional.
Yeah, go take another hairbrush in your ass.
Not professional at all. Not like Dr. Huge.
I got my tongue up this chick's ass.
Not even close to being professional, okay? When they keep coming out. So apparently her wardrobe for her fancy pay-per-view match happened last week. And every time she was getting slammed on her face, titties out. Slammed on her back, titties out. Slammed on her side, titties come flying out. So whoever's making the gear aren't making it with the titties in mind. Or are they? So, I don't know. Whoever's been designing a lot of these wardrobes for the ladies lately, awesome. Good job. Keep up the good work. And, people seem upset about it. It's a couple nip slips. It's not crazy. It's no Jackie getting her shirt completely torn off. It's no the cat in the middle of an old pay-per-view just whipping off her shirt or anything after a wet t-shirt contest. Like really, what's the difference at that point? So, JC Jane get well. And, yeah. That's NXT for you. I think the last time I seen that was from one of our favorites, right? Is she around here? Yep, happened to her recently. She's got new BFTs. And then it always happened to Charlotte Flair. It doesn't happen to her. Yet if they put like a little bra strap around her forehead, this will come out. This will probably end up in the WrestleMania when there's the bra around this, the nipple on her head. It will pop out. So feel better, Liv Morgan as well. And I hope this guy didn't do it. I know he didn't do it because I saw the video, but I'm sure some people think that welt came from Alberto Del Rio, a.k.a. El Patron. That's a mugshot. That's what a mugshot looks like over in Guardia. Is that where he's from? Guardia? Okay. I'm going with that. But, of course, I think he's Mexican, right? And he allegedly, in a boxing ring, YouTube TOS, domestic violence with his woman, his wife, or girlfriend, or, who knows. So, that's why he's got his hands behind his back, and he looks very somber. Because he got physical with his lady. So first of all, never do that. Always use your words, El Patron. And do we have you here today with us?
Where all the pussies leave, right?
Yeah, is that where you're going?
A big nose with a small dick.
Don't call me that.
A big nose with a small dick.
Hey, I said if I say don't call me that, he's gonna call me that, isn't he? Don't call me that.
A big nose with a small dick.
Well, the only story I got about this is I just remember a few years back, he supposedly was doing some independent film, and he was dressed up like a Marine and had a gun in his hands, right? But he didn't have the finger straight like this on the gun, because you're never supposed to keep your finger on the trigger. His finger was on the trigger, and somebody wrote in the comments and said, what the fuck? The real pros keep their fingers straight. And then he just laid into him. He was like, you are a bitch, you're a this, you're a that. Again, that's not how you handle the chat in the comments, Alberto Del Rio. You handle it with love. You say thank you for that advice. I will keep my fingers straight so I don't shoot people like, what's his name in that cowboy movie? Alec Baldwin, right? Not guilty. Thank you. Mugshot looks like a promo shot out there. Yeah, maybe he's just posing like Gunther. Could it be? Maybe he's just striking a Gunther pose, but I don't know. That background looks pretty ominous as far as when it comes to criminal activity. You understand? Criminals don't like backgrounds that look like this, with symbols around the head and things. Unless you're, Gunther and you're a fascist and you do live streams on White Nationalist Rumble. What else? What else can we goof on? We just goofed on domestic violence. There we go. And now we're going to goof on this, because we told you that Io Sky just got beat up by Jade Cargill last night. And of course she did, because, again, I don't need to watch this stuff because I know what's going to happen. And if I could bet on this, apparently there was some betting with the WWE back in the 20-teens, I will be betting on that because I already know. Listen, the writers from WWE have been following me for years. Fact Jack, okay? And they steal a lot of my ideas, and I see them on TV, and then I tell people, and they tell me I'm crazy. Got it. And these aren't just ideas that we all might have come up with. You got what I'm saying? These are very specific ideas. This wasn't my idea. All of whatever they've been doing the past year, Not my idea. I'm talking about back in the day when Vince was around and those other writers, because I'm sure they got a whole new class. But this. So, they beat up Io Sky last week, you know, Jade and her goons, which is funny how that all worked out. She beat up B-Fab and, what's her name? Jade. No, it's not Jade anymore. She's, Meechin, one of the worst wrestling names ever. I'm sorry, Meechin. It stinks. It was better when you were Jade, but we already got another Jade. So, you're Meechin, you're a goon, and they beat up on Io Sky, or Jade beat up on Io Sky while her goons held down Rhea Ripley over here. Then Rhea Ripley got an injury from that, needed stitches, got like a huge scar from something from being held down or whatever. There's just a segment. And then Io Sky took on Jade last night, loses clean, 1, 2, 3 right in the middle, looking up at the lights. And then, of course, it's going to happen because Jade is taking on Rhea Ripley at WrestleMania. Which, again, is this some big match that I want to see? Not really. They called each other bitch a few times. All right. It's not really a lot of heat going on. They haven't really been after each other for a while. They tried to build it up last minute, just like they did everything else. Good luck with that. Get well, everybody. Right? And, Coach, what do you think of the wrestlers being on American Gladiators as gladiators? I didn't see a lot of them. I saw Rick Boogs. Rick Boogs is perfect for American Gladiators. Perfect. So I'm glad he's on that. I will watch it wherever it is. They better just use all the old stuff. Don't come up with some new games. You know, I want the guy up there on the tennis ball turret looking thing, and you got to run from spot to spot and not get hit by the tennis balls. I want that game. I want to roll the ball into the cones with the, you know, where you got to stick the ball up there, but it's all like curved. I want, what's the other one? The football one, where you literally have to bash your way through a Rick Boogs. Like, good luck with that. Boogs is fucking huge. And remember, his injury was on a pay-per-view. He took on the Usos, I think with somebody else. I can't even remember who. But remember, he picked up both the Usos. And these Usos, they look small compared to everybody else. These Usos are kind of fat.
He's fat!
In a way. Like, they're thick. They got big bones or something. He picked up both of them, and his knee literally just went, just crushed. It was disgusting. So, I'm glad he's healthy now. They should bring him back into wrestling, but that's definitely like a Vince McMahon guy, right? He looked the part. And I'm telling you, looking the part means more than being a little wrestler doing a lot of cool moves and flips, because I still don't believe it. And that's why Finn Balor, he ended up going up the chain against Brock Lesnar, and then everybody went, oh, that's right. You could just tell creative was like, oh, yeah, he's got to fight Brock Lesnar now, and he's obviously not going to win, right? So he go back to NXT for a couple of years, and we'll figure this out, right? Or we'll wait for the game to pass the big guys by, but the game's never going to pass the big guys by. They look like the best wrestlers because they're fucking huge. That's why everybody likes Brock Lesnar versus Oba Femi. This ain't rocket science. Philly Sports Pride in the building. You missed some Pat McAfee talk. You know, I can always get fired up about it again. All I have to say about it, just to tell everybody one more time in the second hour, Philly Sports Pride, this Pat McAfee, I just want to say this, like I say with pretty much everything else that happens in world events, in pro wrestling, in life in general. I told you so. I fucking told everybody that this stinks. And guess what? The majority now agree with me. And it's because of what TKO did and sent their new Sylvester Stallone, their new little industry plant, and him and his 80-pound head right back in the WWE When he said he was retired, he wanted no more. He said he was tired. But no, they couldn't leave it alone. They said, no, the people Jeffrey Cross loves Pat McAfee. William Robinson and all the people that watch the Dr. Huge show, they love Pat McAfee, and Dr. Huge is just a hater. Yeah. How's that now? How's that today? How's it look? And this ain't well, look at what Trump's doing. See, we should have voted this way. No, I'm not saying Corey Graves should have been the announcer the whole time. What's wrong with Corey Graves? What's wrong with a one-on-one match with Randy Orton versus Cody Rhodes in a down year of WrestleMania to really put something together old school style that can get over with the people, and they would tell everybody and the older folks or whatever and go, you should have watched that match. It was actually really good. But no, we got Pat McAfee involved. We got Jelly Roll involved. Lil Yachty. We got I Run Fast is in our business now. Logan Paul and his Pokemon schemes and his crypto scams. He's all involved with us. Mm-hmm. So you still love Pat McAfee. So you love this angle? This is the new version of wrestling that everybody wants? Yep. I guess it is. Well, you're getting it. Get ready for more. Maybe we'll have Burt Crusher out here by SummerSlam. Shirtless. In trunks. And we'll have him wrestle Danhausen and Pat McAfee. You know, Danhausen, you're in that category too. And as Danny pointed out earlier, which I'm sure you didn't hear, he said the most actual factual thing I've ever heard when it comes to Danhausen. I would like Danhausen better if the real stuff, quote unquote, the real good stuff, not the work matches and the comedy matches with Doink the Clown, Evil Doink, we would actually have good, look forward to real animosity between guys, main event matches for WrestleMania, but we don't have that. We don't have that anywhere. We got a bunch of celebrities and stuff, and then they're like, but Danhausen's fun, right? And it's like, I'm not buying WrestleMania for Danhausen, okay? I'm not watching wrestling for Danhausen. That could be a cherry on top or something, but that ain't the primary source of where I'm trying to get my entertainment from. This horse shit. Mm-hmm. So much more they could have done with Cody and Orton. So much more. It's not like they haven't been doing long-term storytelling. I'm so flustered right now, I can't even say words. You understand? This face, get off my screen. You know, show me snot face. Jelly face. Instead. Same difference. But Cody and Orton have the whole family deal. They have the, there's so much there. There's so much there that we're going to insert pop star. Looks like his face was drawn on by a bunch of high school kids when they're bored in class. These are the guys. We're going to stick them in here, fuck up our WrestleMania and our PLEs because the bankers want that. Let's just put it that way. Hold on. I'm going to take a quick break. You just wait a second. You can't look at what I'm doing right now. This is YouTube TOS. I'm sure you have no idea what I'm up to. Burt Crusher walks out like Stone Cold slamming beers. Then he starts crying. I would like that. I actually would like that.
What?
Mm-hmm. Or how about kind of like what I was talking about last show where Stone Cold comes out in his ATV and runs over Burt Kreischer, and he ends up under like the wheels and everything, and then he starts crying. I think that could also work. So Backlash, it will be Pat and Orton versus Cody and Jelly. Yep. We talked about that already. Yeah, everybody knows. Listen, there's no excitement. There's no surprises. We know as soon as they do something what their next move is going to do. That's not wrestling. You're supposed to be like swerving us all over the place. Vince would at least try. Like, look over here, and then you go over there, and you're like, oh, and he's like, no, it's over here now, and you go over there, and they're like, nope, it's over there. You know, it was me all along, Austin. By the way, I was there that night when he was the higher power in with the corporate ministry, which is this podcast is named after today, because we're under the rule of the real corporate ministry that has won. This is what would happen if that old storyline played out in reality. The billionaire comes along, joins up with the top guys like Pat McAfee and Jelly Roll, right? Because Jelly Roll's so fucking big, he plays shows at the Vatican. At the Vatican? With that face? You understand what I'm saying? This is like wild stuff to Dr. Huge. And they just pop out of nowhere with overproduced songs. And I'm like, oh, this guy, he's the new one they're going to be pushing. And have you heard the conspiracies on him, everybody? Woo. He's kind of gangsta. Locked up, what, like 50 times, damn near? A lot of threats going towards other artists and things. And oh, it could be something to it, just saying. Maybe.
Let's talk about it.
What do we want to talk about?
Go fuck yourself!
Yeah. So, I mean, that's it. We're done. I've been done with you, Pat. I thought you were out of our lives. Me and the Sleaze were popping champagne a few weeks ago, talking about how you retired from the WWE because you're making more money from all your other shit, right? So, cool. Cool, you're back. They pulled you back in because it's just so necessary to the wrestling business. Like Triple H said, you're the face of the business, Pat. You're the face of the business. This is the face of pro wrestling, folks. That's your face. The cuck face. That's a cuck face for you. Soy face, to be more accurate. Holy shit, folks. Yeah. It'll be interesting. I'll have to put up a poll. Am I going to get WrestleMania or not? I really don't know if I'm going to do it. And if I don't do it, and then I see the highlights and I shrug my shoulders, that's literally what I've been doing with the Raw highlights, SmackDown, you name it. I watch the highlights and I go, glad I didn't sit through that for 3 hours. It's Triple H, I don't know. I know you're kind of stuck between a rock and a hard place, but maybe go against the man. Stand up for us wrestling fans and maybe turn this into an angle even where you bring up Ari Emanuel and the corporate people more and you try to make it their fault. But then again, I don't see that working either because this is too much real life, reality show business, and that's what they've been doing this whole time. And yeah, short show, right? Short show, like Kevin Brennan says. but not really. I still have more stuff here. Meltzer went at Coachman this week. I think you'd find this funny. Philly Sports Pride. I know you've had some run-ins with the coach, but yeah, I wasn't interested enough to look into it. So that's all I wrote down, and I went, yeah, all right. And people went at Meltzer for being 60 in his 60s and at a wrestling event. And what else? We talked about that. The leaked Vince that Triple H, or the leaked text that Trips didn't want Vince back. And I mean, we all kind of assumed that, right? But around the time him and Nick Khan were talking about the Vince situation, and it seems like Triple H was like, get this guy out of here. And it was around the period I spoke about earlier where, Triple H got the reins for a little bit, then Vince came back, and it changed the show up again and made it more wonky and back like it was 2019 again. Then Triple H got it back. They got that really good period, and now it's been going downhill because TKO wants that money now. It's like, we're not getting money fast enough. Yeah, that was cool. All that Rock whipping Cody Rhodes out there, that was cool. But we want that all the time now. So we're going to try to force manufacture it. And people haven't been on board. Because ever since then, what do? They've thrown this in our face.
Z.
And then they'll do something like before this WrestleMania when we've been yeeting for the past year. And the people in the arena at least like it, and the kids or whatever. And they go, you know what we're going to do? We're going to change the song.
Z.
Yeah, that makes sense. And Danny says, just watch the highlights. I don't even bother that much. And I don't miss it anywhere near I thought I would. Because when you come back and you see what they're doing, it's like, oh, that's the same feeling I get. Again, when I watch the highlights, I just go, oh, man, thank God I didn't sit through this. Because there's, 5 minutes worth of, decent stuff going on? I love how Pat McAfee was making fun of CM Punk last night. He was doing the nasally voice thing. I don't know if anybody picked up on that. Not like Pat has a great voice either. But, yeah. Now Coach is doing a pod with JD from New York, is he? Oh, my goodness. I'll never forget it when JD from New York sent me in DM. And he was just like, I don't know what you're trying to do, but one of your guys is flagging my videos. And I'm like, is he? And then I asked him, and he's like, I'm not doing that. And I get back to him, I'm like, I'm not doing that. He's not doing it. And I'm like, first of all, why are you coming to me about it? Apparently, I'm a big fucking deal, right? Everybody's so afraid of me, though. People that, have, the big drama shows and stuff, are afraid of what I'm going to do. I'm not going to do anything. It's very strange to me. I'm probably the kindest person on the internet, and people are all worried about me. Why? Because I goof on wrestling? Okay. Jeez. I guess I'll take it as a compliment. I mean, even Stuttering John, I haven't heard him tell a lot of people this. He's just like, you seem like a really smart guy. It's like, why am I supposed to? I look stupid, right? So when I act a little bit smart, people are like, why are you so smart? You're supposed to be an idiot like everybody else. No, I'm trying my best to do it, but it's not working. By the way, if you're still watching, you're still listening, you're just tuning in now, this is what you should be doing. Following me on X. I don't even have a ticker up. I should have a ticker up. I really should. I shut it down a long time ago. Let's put it up. Look at that. These are the places you can follow me. I'm going to leave it up there. And then I don't really have to mention it anymore. Or the QR codes that you can hit up. No longer a store there. I will be bringing a store back. But I'm going to have AI or something help me with that. Because this e-commerce business, even at this point, I'm not a tech guy like that. I use music software and play video games. I'm into that type of software. So now that we have AI, at least the agents, I might have I'll set up a website and all this stuff. As soon as Ari Emanuel picks up on the fact that I'm way more talented than Pat McAfee, then I'll have my people do it. You know what I'm saying? But until then, host, producer, editor, grip, lighting, all Dr. Huge. All me. Thank you. I hope you like it. It's a lot of work, but I do it for the love of the game. Not even monetized yet. We need more subscribers. And once I get monetized, $1 million, right? Instantly. That's how I know it's going to work like that, right? It's you get monetized and then you instantly get like $100 super chats and memberships. That's what I was told. What are my thoughts on Opie and Anthony? Let's do some dabbling. I do need a break. I have a ton more wrestling notes. I've been taking them because, I had last week's notes. Look at this. But I will answer all questions, even from you poors. All you poor people that can't even give me money because I'm not even monetized. But Opie and Anthony, I never really listened much when they were live. But after the fact, I listened to a few shows and clips and things. And I think it's a good time. I thought it was funny. I like Patrice, of course. All their comics that they have on. I like stand-up. Even though it is kind of cringe these days. Just the idea of it's cringe. But if this is my biggest beef with just comedy clubs, is their food fucking sucks. Like 9 out of 10 times. You go to a place, don't ever get the food. It's going to be trash. It'll be worse than trash. And then the drinks are mediocre. And the comedy can be good. But I got into Ant during COVID. Oh, wow, you were kind of late there. And honestly, Anthony, fucking hilarious guy. His Vince McMahon, impression and the Dice impression and all that stuff. No, you're not Dice. Give me Dice. Oh! Amazing talent. Again, gotten a little older in my opinion. Slowed down a little bit. But, and he's very focused on the blacks. Like one day I made a joke of it on X. I went to check out his profile and I'm like, this Anthony Cumia is a pretty funny guy. What has he got to say on Twitter? I'm going to go see what he's up to and follow him. Give him a good old follow. And it was just like blacks. And the whole page, I'm scrolling. And I'm like, where's the funny? We're just yelling about blacks, I guess. So I went, all right. And then I learned about all the other creepy allegations in the boxing ring YouTube TOS. Yes, the Jesse Ventura is one of my favorites as well. And so I hear you're a woman now. Oh, you haven't heard? You just heard that recently? That's been a thing for years now. Yep, there I am. Man, I look pretty. I think I look pretty good there. Yeah. People still say that, but, it's almost like this is, before I get back into Opie and Anthony, the whole Dabbleverse thing, when somebody writes something, I just want to point this out too. I'm the origin of many of the Dabbleverse jokes from the Poor Chat. Again, like with the WWE stuff, I'm not lying. WWE was scouting us. I have friends at AEW, A&E on the TV station, and they have WWE content and shows and producers and things, and they would tell me and my people that, yeah, we're interested. And then I would have literally Triple H in my chat and Drew McIntyre and these people and all this. So, very important. Now, I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about because I started talking about that. What was I talking about, Philly sports pride? Don't laugh at me. It's not funny. I'm losing my mind. Maybe I should have another one. I was a woman. Jesse Ventura wasn't that. It wasn't COVID. Yeah. I don't know. I guess I'm not warmed up enough after an hour of talking, ranting, and raving, right? So,
Oh, a little bit of the bubbly. Oh, a little bit of the bubbly.
Don't worry, I'll take a break before tonight. But Opie and Anthony. Anyway, back to that. What was the other question? That's going to bother me now. But Opie and Anthony, yeah, they're good. You know, they were good. And I think Opie is not as funny as Anthony, obviously. And people give him props because he kept the show going and things, whatever. And there is a skill to that. But it ain't like anybody can do that, really. And Opie would get mad when, Anthony would buddy up with people. I noticed that, whole situation, and that wasn't cool. So the overall, Opie and Anthony were they were a meaner version of Howard Stern, where Howard Stern would have, Gary the retard say, or whatever, where that seems mean. But it was more like they were getting them involved with stuff. People were laughing with them a lot, even though it wasn't like you were just laughing at mentally retarded people. That's the vibe I felt more from Opie and Anthony, where they would just flat out make fun of them. And it's like, well, no, we should have fun with them. You understand? So that's my take on that. I was way more of a Stern guy, but holy shit. What happened to my Howard Stern? I mean, I pretty much fell off the map with it at 2013. 2010 was when I started to really lose interest, so I wasn't listening every day. But, man, the 2000s, especially the early Sirius era, what did he show up there, 2006 or 5 or whatever? But that 5 years, 2005 to 2010, amazing stuff. The best radio I've ever heard in my life. So, yep. So, Skull.
Oh, a little bit of the bubbly. Oh, a little bit of the bubbly.
Mm-hmm. Unfortunately, WWE depends more on celebrities than focusing on their talent. I'm sure you're... Yes. Shout out to you, Wings of Soul. I know that's you, Reezy. I think that's you. No more Chinese lettering or Japanese letters. And what Opie does now is wild. It is kind of wild. The whole, doing a show on Facebook for the boomers, with the sun comes up and everything. And, yeah, and the way he says words is very 80s frat boy, that type shit. So again, I lean way more Pocky than I do Dopester. You understand? But then again, also when it comes to, say, Anthony and Stuttering John, I understand why Anthony doesn't like him. I saw the whole thing when John went on his show years ago with Artie, and that whole thing that went down. Hilarious. Amazing stuff. And I'm sorry, Duke, that was honest, in my opinion, my expert analyst, journalist opinion, that's the start of the Dabbleverse. That right there. That kind of that was a long show. And John was just getting hammered by Artie. But he was getting hammered by Artie in a lighthearted, truthful way. Because it was about lighthearted, truthful stuff. And then John would go for the jugular. And I know these guys. You got buddies like this or whatever, and it's you say one little thing to them, and they try to really stick it to you. And you're like, damn, dude, I'm just goofing around. And you're telling me, you're happy half my family's gone or something. It's damn, you're dropping a nuke on somebody just kind of being a bro, And that's what Artie did. Artie was kind of like an in-studio roast comedian. And, yeah, it was amazing fucking stuff, but Stuttering John, man, I get that he probably understands that by picking up the rope constantly and fighting all these battles, it produces content, even though it is seen as, to many, as, constant reruns of the same thing, because he's, complaining about the same things and the same people and the same stuff. But so isn't it? It's happening on the other side too. They just happen to use a lot of people's content and input in chat and everything else into the show, which is fine and smart to do, I believe. But what it is, what it is. It's a symbiosis. The Dabbleverse is a very weird place, and all them guys are a part of it. It's just I don't dislike anybody. I'm just I wouldn't even say worried. I'm concerned. Again, I don't like joining a lot of groups and things, because I know that, especially people these days, they're scammers and backstabbers. And we're concerned about a lot of these people in the Dabbleverse, and they'll be like, do my show and do this and do that, and maybe do super tips, right? You're not even monetized. You should do super tips. But I don't want to be told what to do, and I don't want to be harassed, right? And I'm going to no-sell it anyway, right? Even if I was, because I get this. Again, I understand what's going on in the podcast and the internet world, but it's a shame, because it's like you just can't trust a lot of people. And then maybe that's why a lot of people don't fuck with me either. That you like Mersh. Shout out to Mersh. Nobody clipped this, right? But I'm trying to get Mersh on. Even Danny's a fan of his stuff, and we want to get him on to talk wrestling. I know he knows about wrestling. He knows about the dabbling stuff. I think it would make sense to get him on, but I think he's like, he's worried about being ambushed and things. I don't do that shit. I don't need to. I don't want to. So there. That's right, doggy. Like Lewis and the Skanks and all that. I'm not big into those shows either. If anything, I'm a dabbler. I like the dabble shows. It's a little community. I know who everybody is. I get what's going on, and I think it's funny. And it gives me a break from reality, which is way worse than the Dabbleverse. People, the Dabbleverse is shit and it's stupid and this and that. No, it just gives people like me a break from it, and a laugh and a giggle here and there. Yep. There's a lot of scammers on social media and a lot of media that will try to control you. Exactly. And I don't want to be controlled. I want to be... Maybe I will do super tips and get no super tips, right? But I will... just trying it would be a nice little practice in trust. And then watch everybody else watch my trust get broken. And maybe it won't. That would be something. Maybe I just got to put that energy out there instead of just assuming everybody's going to fuck me over. But that's been my life, so. You do, Tabby? Thank you. And I appreciate you being in the chat and being a subscriber. I appreciate everybody that comes on the show, that is in the chat, that is into what I'm doing. And you got more of me tonight. Again, I'll be on International Rangoon, watching a comedy show, having the comedians come on with us. I should be I have more of one tied on, so it could be even more entertaining than this one. Can you imagine? You'd probably cum in your pants. So entertaining tonight. And thank you. You would? Honestly, I would tear up if somebody super tipped me. But believe it or not, I've had they called them super hearts back in my day. And I was fucking killing it for a while. I mean, killing it as far as not having any brand recognition, coming out of nowhere, starting with 0 viewers and talking to myself for a week. And then I started building it and building it and building it. And I was getting up to like 1,500 a month. And then Periscope went away. And then that COVID thing came around and fucked my life up real good. And then I finally got back to this a year ago. And we're almost monetized on YouTube. And I'm focusing on YouTube. I got a Rumble. I got a Kick. Got a X for now. I think X is running out this month. Because, again, I'm frugal. I'm cheap. I'm not going to just keep paying for X just so I can go live on it. There's no other reason. It's to go live and to be a reply guy because nobody sees your tweets because you have to pay to play, right? That's the only reason I got that little symbol there. But, yeah, check me out on all this stuff. I don't pay for views. I'm not paying for anything. I'm paying to do this already. Okay? You guys, you really? You guys would super tip? Even if it's I will weep at $1. You want to see me cry on air? Because to me, I'm an appreciative person. I get it, right? I don't want to be hate super chatted or super tipped, but I don't mind it either. But I definitely like when people are out here saying, and it could be, and there's plenty of them, when they say no $2 super chats, that's so fucking disrespectful. It feels as a poor in the chat. It's so disrespectful because it's like I gotta set up my account, I gotta put my information in, and then I send you $2, and you're like, don't even send it. What the fuck? Okay. I try to ignore it for the most part. I really do. Views are good. Most people can't get one view, yeah. And then you go in the Dabbleverse and people, they laugh at, like, you only have 500 viewers. And I'm like, only 500? Only 80? I get it. I do a show on Saturday afternoon most of the time. So people watch and listen, during the week and all this stuff. The numbers go up significantly after I'm done. But again, I appreciate it. I appreciate it when there were only 5 people watching. I appreciate it now there's hundreds and the dozens and all this. And we're working on the thousands and so on and so forth. And even the people that subscribe to your channel, only a small fraction give a shit and will check in on your stuff, right? Unless you're like hammering little shorts and videos out all day, every day. But who's got time to do that unless you got like this huge support system around you, which I don't. This is all me again. I'm killing it right now. And I appreciate Danny and, of course, the sleaze and everybody that comes on. But let's not get this fucked up. The train moves because I'm the conductor. You understand? But everybody out here that is a part of this deal going forward, it will always be appreciated. And I'll never turn my nose up at $2, ever. Unless it's really fucking shitting on me. Then I'll be like, well, I don't need to read $2 for you to shit on me. But if you want to, make like Egyptian hieroglyphics in a $2 chat because you can't spend enough money to actually write out a clear sentence, I'm fine with that. I'll try to figure it out. We'll make it a bit on the show or something and go, oh, what is this trying to say? Very real. That's why I love the video game streams, too. I don't even show myself on the video game streams. I probably should start. I would get a lot more viewers. But, most of the time, I'm just playing the game. I'm going to be playing it anyway. I might as well stream it. And if something cool happens, I can clip it. Get it? So I'm out here, Mr. T. I'm still doing pull-ups in the basement, so to speak, even though I'm not in the basement. So there's that. I'm on my way. I'm coming for all the dabble bucks and all the super tips and the super chats. And if there were super hearts, I'd go for those too. And that's the reason you're not big time, because you're a good person. And you're not selfish enough to... Good job, bro. Thank you. And again, this is... Especially these days. But this is how it's always been. If you are a decent person and you are nice, things don't work out for you. Nice guys finish last for a reason. So I just try to do what I want. And I'm just not trying to fuck over or violate anybody else. And just do my thing. That's it. Even the people I talk trash about on here in the wrestling business and whatever, I constantly say, I don't hate them. I don't know who they are. You know, I'm critiquing. And I understand a lot of people think critiquing is hating, but it really isn't. I'm just trying to goof on something and have fun with the time that I'm afforded here on this planet. That's it. And I get that there are some people, they're pissed. For whatever reason, they're pissed off at life, and they're going to go on the internet, and they're going to harass you, me, anybody else, and nothing I can do about it. So, no sell it. Don't sell it. Just like they told Marlena after, somebody did something to her or whatever. Don't sell it. It makes it worse. Fact Jack. So anyway, let's get a palate cleanser. Now that we just talked some dabbling, some real deep philosophical dabbling. Oh, this is a good one. This will fix our brains here. Unless you're a lady. Or maybe if you're a lady. Look at this. That's Sol Ruca. People are actually not standing with Sol Ruca. They're standing with Zarya, who turned her back on her best friend, Sol Ruca, because she was so popular and she looks like this. There we go. So there you go. There is your palate cleanser. And what do we got? What else we got? Yep, Liv and Roxy concussed, smacking heads because they're pros. Maxine Dupree possibly joining the Vision. She keeps showing up in the background with Austin Theory looking like he's trying to get her in the gang. Oba and Lesnar got in a huge brawl. Triple H then got involved later on with it and stuck his... What? He did what? Where's my guy? Where are you, El Patron?
A big nose with a small dick.
That's actually who the clip is for. In context. Not me. I know you thought it was me. It wasn't me. You know, huge BP. Very big. Not small like Triple H.
A big nose with a small dick.
My nose almost as big as Triple H. He has the bigger nose. I have a bigger PP. Thank you. So, yep. Triple H got involved. People don't like it. Doesn't make sense why he got involved. He got involved with the Cena stuff and his retirement towards the end, too, in a few segments. People didn't understand that either. If you're in here, Triple H, be in here, right? Be an authority. Be somebody that... I guess they were trying to make sense out of it because something happened to Adam Pearce earlier in the night, so... It's like, oh, well, he's now the general manager, kind of. Whatever, bro. It's just, stop sticking your big nose in Brock Lesnar's business, because I'm sure it doesn't make him happy.
I'm coming for you, motherfucker! I'm the beast! Dawn the piece of shit! Miocic's the piece of shit!
I'm going to be big time, though, soon. I'm going to start becoming selfish. I have to. At least I can be selfish with my own stuff, right? And I'm not like holding the show hostage from anybody or anything, but I'm the show. So we all need to help Dr. Huge get to a place where I'm fucking killing it, right? And then I can start pulling people up. Instead of a crab in the bucket situation where everybody's just trying to pull me down as soon as I start to gain a little steam, and it's like, no, why are you doing this? You shouldn't be allowed to do this. You stink and you suck. It's like, why are you all involved with me if I stink and suck so much, right? How does that make any sense? So, I think selfish time is coming up. Thank you. He also CM Punk called him MAGAFee, get it? Because how dare he have the President of the United States on his show? How dare he? Just silly shit. This is a lot of this news is just This fucking nonsense. Migos, you've heard of them? Offset? Well, the other guy, he got shot at a bowling alley a few years back. Now Offset, who's friends with Ric Flair, he just got shot. Woo! I don't even know how he's doing. That's the only news I heard. It was from TMZ. He's shot. There's a video of him laying on the ground somewhere. And I get well. That's kind of crazy that he would, they clip both Migos. Or is it 3 of them? Because 3 amigos, right? I don't know. Because I haven't been in the hip hop since the early 2000s. I actually got out of hip hop when T.I. and Lil Wayne started becoming a thing and people were telling me, oh, they're the best. And I'm like, really? Not really. Not to me. And then it's just gotten to be the shits ever since. When all these people are like Kanye West and Drake are the best, like, wow. They sound like nerds. Like, you know what, like the voice you gotta have a certain voice to do the rap thing. And sure, it can be high pitched, it could be deep, either one. But usually you sound like dope. Like West Side Gun, big wrestling fan. He got the real high-pitched voice, but it sounds dope. Biggie, deep voice, sounds dope. Kanye West and Drake sound like nerds. So, Kanye West, great producer, but not a great rapper. Shout out to HVAC. Face blue smiling in the house. That's right. Check me out, HVAC, if you're around later. International Rangoon later tonight. I'm doing a show with Luke, who hangs with Jim Grindle, who is hosting a stand-up comedian show in New York State. And we're going to have some comedians on with us. And then I may be on Clowntown after that with Big W. I know you know him. Famous pay pig. One of the greatest pay pigs in MLC history. Or whales. We can call you a whale, too, if you want to be called a whale. Pay whale. But whales are technically bigger than pigs, so I don't know if you want to be called that either. You know? You guys are so rich. It's like, what are you, monetized, HVAC? Big W? Linking in my channel? I don't know how to do nothing around here. You know, I'm the producer, I'm the host, grip, lighting, script writer. I came up with all this right now. Who else could do a show for over 2 hours by themselves and with Danny Damage on here echoing for a half hour? Who else? And hold a handful of viewers. Not many people. Maybe Stuttering John, but not many others. Maybe I should just look for things online and go, wow. Again with this Pat McAfee again and again and again and again. See what I'm doing there, KB? I was just doing you right there, KB. He should have me on. But you got to book me. Listen, I don't do this dabbling shit where they're like, oh, you in the chat? Come on. And I'm in my fucking footy pajamas with a burrito in my hands. And I'm like, I'm not coming on right now. I got to put on hats and shit. And I got to deep throat this fucking burrito over here. Then they get all upset. I can't believe he doesn't want to come on. Because I'm not Nasty Neil, brah. I'm clamoring for these links. I'll do it when I got time, okay? Thank you. Anyway, did we just talk about it all? We talked about most of it. The pipe bomb, Pat McAfee, The Rock not being a Hollywood star. Jericho back at AEW. Here's another thing before we wrap this up, but Jericho You couldn't nail down Jericho, WWE. You're that much in the shits that you couldn't come up with something creatively to make Chris Jericho go, oh, that's cool. He gets what's cool. That's why he's been in the business for like the past 50 years. So he gets it. And if he tells you that whatever you had cooked up for him was the shits, you should believe it.
It's the shits.
Because now he's just going to go, oh, I'm going to go back to AEW. I'll just take their money. And he brought back the list. You couldn't have Jericho back with the list. You couldn't run that back, WWE, you stupid idiots. Instead, we get Pat McAfee with sunglasses Pat McAfee. Jeez. So, Chris Jericho, one of my favorites. I mean, he's technically my favorite ever since fucking Shawn Michaels over here blocked me on Twitter. So you're my favorite now. Also, Shawn Michaels finally spoke out about, Bret Hart saying he slept with Vince McMahon.
It's the shits.
Mm-hmm. Of course, you know what he's going to say. He took the high road, saying, I'm not bitter, and people say things, it's a wrestling business, yada, yada. We got it. But he didn't answer the question. He didn't say no. He didn't say he didn't in a court of law in YouTube boxing ring. He didn't even say that. So the jury's still out, in my opinion. Mm-hmm. The Orton mystery caller. Jesus, these notes are old because the mystery caller's Pat McAfee that we all know. Yep. Danhausen on the Sphere. We talked about that. Willie Mack. Some of you may not know who he is. He's actually a really good wrestler. I found him, first of all, in Lucha Underground. And he ended up with AEW, but he claims he's going to be homeless soon. A homeless superhero. Because the booker, Tony Khan, doesn't think he's worth the money. So apparently they have these contracts, right, where you can get paid to sit on the couch. But they've changed it up recently with some of the wrestlers. So now, you get paid for when you wrestle. But we know how Tony Khan gets down. He doesn't have everybody wrestle all the time. I think Keith Lee still hasn't come back. Britt Baker hasn't been around in forever. These are like people that have been like in the championship scene or had belts. So if you're not paying your wrestlers and letting them do work, motherfucker's going to be homeless. So that's news to me. And do I believe it? I'll tell you this much. I don't disbelieve it because I brought it up on my old Periscope shows, and shortly after that, Shawn Michaels blocked me. He used to retweet me and all kinds of stuff before that too. But nope, he blocked me, and I went, why did he block me? I don't say anything. And everybody knows he's like my all-time favorite wrestler, and he blocks me? And I was thinking, and I'm go, I mentioned that another old wrestler, I can't even remember, one of the oldies, one of these Southern boys, basically we're bringing this up in a shoot interview, and we're talking about how HBK and this and that. And then even his own guy that he kicked through the window there, Marty Jannetty from the Rockers, was kind of saying the same thing. He was saying even wilder shit than a lot of these guys. So I kind of picked up on this. I mentioned it in a podcast, and it's like, I'm not saying I'm saying this. I'm just saying it's a rumor that's been in the WWE. So Skull, right? What are we going to do? All I can do is report back to you guys and get blocked by all my my heroes.
Oh, a little bit of the bubbly. Oh, a little bit of the bubbly.
So if you think you're going to get under my skin with the Dabbleverse trolls and stuff like that, listen, I got bigger fish to fry here, folks. You understand? I got 300-pound shredded guys and things that want to put me in headlocks over here. For real. Not for fake. Because I want to have fun and I want to goof around. They don't like that. They're like, don't mention those rumors. I was watching. I was listening. Now you're blocked. Right? I guarantee you, I know for a fact, one of the shows Triple H was watching, I mentioned Big Steph. That's what a nickname I had for her. Because it was funny. But then again, we were scouted, but never picked up. You understand? So, shout out to Big Steph. We love you, me and the Sleaze especially. We're still down to this day. You understand? Even in your advanced, very advanced age, we would still, you know. So, Triple H, you're still doing good, brah. And the Sleaze stuck up for you in one of our latest podcasts over and over and over. He was so upset when everybody was goofing on Triple H not having muscles anymore on his little boating expedition that he did last summer. Very upset about how dare the marks say that Triple H has no more muscles. Right? A couple heart problems and things, and it's like you lose your muscles, and then the trolls come out. Night and daytime. The Janelle Grant horseshit is still going on. Honestly, if you believe this, if you're believing her side of the story on this, you got more research to do, brah. And, if you're just one of these believe all women type people, that's silly. Believe all evidence, okay? Especially if it's hard evidence. And we have hard evidence that says that Vince was up to creepy stuff. Sure, he's a sexual deviant, it sounds like. But hey, ain't against the law. Simple as that. If not, go lock them up. But they're not, right? So, do I have you over here? Where's this? I haven't played this one in a long time.
Of course, jabronis. Are you going to arrest the Great One?
Come and get him. What, you can't shit on your girlfriend anymore that you pay millions of dollars to? Philly Sports Pride? Not allowed to poo-poo pee-pee anymore? Not allowed to pass you around to the beast? I thought we were adults. I thought these were adult activities, right? But no, apparently it's trafficking and it's worth a lot of money. You understand? And then when that money stops, boy, we gotta get it back though. Either one way or another, either through court or through shit in my hair. Not my hair. It's impossible. There was a lot of Sammy Championship backlash. I know this is an old story too, but it still happened. That's why we got Trick vs. Sammy going into WrestleMania, and it's the shits, and nobody likes it. And Carmelo Hayes sitting right there, who he took the belt off of, who has a whole long history with Trick Williams, but they want to wait until the future to do all that, which is also stupid because you're in the pro wrestling business and people get hurt and break legs and all kinds of stuff. So get the shit in now while you can. It's not like you haven't done it already on the CW that only me and 14-year-olds watch. So you can get it in for everybody else on the normies and the casuals on Monday Night Raw, SmackDown, wherever you fucking do these shows. Do a new draft. Stick to it. Do something. I don't know who's on what show still. Mm-hmm. The Gunther stuff with Rollins, just, what the fuck, man? I love Seth Rollins, I love Gunther, and now them doing this and just throwing this together sloppily is just stupid.
It's the shits.
And then we know what this buildup is. I got juice on my lip.
It's the shits. It's the shits.
Yeah, but Gunther It's just crazy to me. Again, why am I going to buy WrestleMania when even two of my modern day favorites are going to be wrestling each other and I don't care? There's no build to it. I don't even understand why Gunther's involved still. And WrestleMania is next weekend. So that stinks. And then all I can see is that this is tied in with Brock Lesnar because Paul Heyman still is an advocate for Brock Lesnar. And then what's going to happen is Brock Lesnar is going to be Obafemi. That's going to piss everybody off. And then he's going to end up retiring at like SummerSlam to Gunther because Gunther retires everybody. Again, we don't need to watch this. We already know what's going to happen. We'll watch the highlights and go, oh, yep, I knew it. So there you have it. I'm not even looking. I got more notes. I'm not even going to look at them. I got to go eat a sandwich or something, refuel for later. Again, I'll be doing a little comedy show deal, International Rangoon on YouTube, 8 o'clock. Expect me then. And also possibly Clowntown later, late night. So go subscribe to all of them and go pump me up to them over there. Again, I need to build a little support system. I got nothing, guys. I got nothing over here. I got Danny in his echo. I got the sleaze. I got Jess, kind of, who's, I think, soft quit, like Reezy did, which is fine. You can quit. I'm not paying anybody anything. I'm not mad. I'll never be mad. Just tell me you're done. Let me know. I need to know what my talent's up to. I'm Vince McMahon and you're my talents. And again, if you're watching right now, listening right now, even in the future, like this, subscribe. It really means a good amount. Every time somebody shares or does something, the numbers go up. So I need people to do things. It's very necessary in this day and age. People only care about the numbers. They look at me and they're like, oh, 150 views. But I got 150 views here, YouTube, right? 150 views over there, another 150. You see what I'm saying? I'm kind of spreading my views around. And we just need to be known more like we were back in the day. But now everybody's doing a wrestling podcast. But they are not as good as this. And they cannot do solo shows like this. You understand? How many clips have I watched today, folks? Or have I just talked out of my fucking head for 2.5 hours? I talked out of my head. I'll finish it for you if you showed up late. Anyway, good game, everybody. Check out the QR code if you're not a boomer and you know what this is. Shout out to everybody. You guys killed it today. You showed up in the chat, and I hope you show up on the other channels later and support your local friendly neighborhood Dr. Huge. Thank you and good afternoon. See you later.
Another hairbrush in your ass.